What if I told you that the worst day of your life was also the most important one? Not because it felt good, not because it was fair, but because of what it forced you to become. Most people spend their entire lives running from their worst days. This is the story of a woman who ran toward hers, and what she found on the other side changed everything. Her name was Sarah, and her worst day came without warning. Like all the worst days do, it was a Wednesday, an ordinary Wednesday. She had dropped her kids at school, stopped for coffee, answered 3 emails on the way to work. Normal, unremarkable, just another day, until she walked into her office and her manager asked her to come in. She sat down. He couldn't look her in the eyes. "We're letting you go," he said. "Budget cuts, nothing personal." 11 years. She had given that company 11 years, and it took him 40 seconds to end it. She drove home in silence, sat in her car in the driveway, called her husband. He didn't answer. Called again. Voicemail. She sat there alone for a long time, thinking about the mortgage, the kids' school fees, the life they had built that suddenly felt very fragile. That night, she couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, running the numbers in her head over and over again. 3 months savings, maybe 4 if they were careful. After that, she didn't know. The next morning, she did something she hadn't done in 11 years. She had nowhere to be. No alarm, no commute, no manager waiting for her report. For the first time in over a decade, the day was completely hers, and she didn't know what to do with it. So she made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and for the first time in 11 years, she asked herself a question she had been too busy to ask. What do I actually want? Not what her company wanted from her, not what her mortgage needed from her, not what the world expected from her. What did she actually want? She sat there for 3 hours, just thinking. And somewhere in those 3 hours, something shifted. She remembered something, a dream she had carried since she was 23 years old, a dream she had quietly buried under 11 years of promotions and performance reviews, and playing it safe. She had always wanted to teach, not in a school, but to help people, real people, people who were struggling with the exact things she had spent 11 years learning to navigate: finance, career transitions, building something stable from an unstable foundation. She opened her laptop, started writing, not a CV, not a job application, a course, everything she knew, everything she had learned, everything she wished someone had taught her, before she spent 11 years learning it the hard way. She worked on it for 6 weeks, every morning at that kitchen table, while her kids were at school, while her husband was at work. Just her and 11 years of knowledge that suddenly had somewhere to go. She launched the course online, quietly, without fanfare, without certainty. The first week, 12 people signed up. She cried, not because 12 was a big number, but because 12 real people had decided that what she knew was worth something. Month 2, 80 people. Month 4, she crossed $10,000. Month 6, She left the job search behind entirely. She wasn't looking for a job anymore. She was building something that was entirely and completely hers. 2 years after that Wednesday, Sarah's online education business was generating over $200,000 a year. She worked from home. She was there when her kids came back from school. She had more time, more freedom, more purpose than 11 years in an office had ever given her. Someone asked her once, if you could go back, would you change it? The firing, the worst day. Sarah didn't hesitate. No, she said. That Wednesday gave me something 11 years of security never could. It gave me no choice but to finally choose. And I chose better than I ever would have if they hadn't pushed me out the door. Here is what Sarah taught me. Your worst day is not the end of your story. It is the moment your story finally gets interesting. Because comfort never forces you to grow. Only disruption does. Only the moment when the thing you were holding on to is taken away do you discover what you are actually capable of holding. Sarah didn't choose her worst day. Nobody does. But she chose what she did with it. And that choice was the greatest gift that terrible Wednesday ever gave her. So whatever your worst day looks like, whatever has been taken from you, whatever door has been closed, ask yourself the question Sarah asked. What do I actually want? Not what the world wants from you. What do you want? Because sometimes the worst thing that ever happens to you is just the universe finally clearing enough space for you to find out. Subscribe. Every week, one story, one lesson, one reminder that your worst day might just be the best thing that ever happened to you.